Have you ever been ignored, dismissed, treated like you didn't matter? Have you ever watched someone walk away without realizing the value you brought to their life, only to later see them struggle without you? There's a silent power in being someone who cannot be taken for granted. In this video, we'll explore 9 attitudes rooted in Stoic philosophy that will make those who undervalued you regret it deeply and eventually come chasing, not with entitlement, but desperation. This isn't manipulation. It's mastery over your own mind and your presence. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Most people spend their lives trying to force others to see their worth. They react, they chase, they plead. But the Stoic does the opposite. They cultivate an unshakable presence, a dignity that cannot be coerced or diminished. By embodying calm, control, and inner value, you silently shift the dynamic. Those who once ignored or undervalued you are forced to reckon with the reality they dismissed. This is not revenge. It is inner authority. It is the quiet, undeniable truth of self-respect. When you act from this mindset, the world responds, sometimes with awe, sometimes with regret, but always with recognition of the person who cannot be overlooked. Today, we break down the 9 attitudes that silently elevate your presence and compel recognition from those who once ignored you. Attitude 1. Emotional independence. The first attitude is emotional independence. Most people are ruled by reactions. They crave approval, fear rejection, and base their sense of worth on others' validation. The Stoic knows this is weakness. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you free yourself from the need for external validation, you no longer play by someone else's rules. Your emotions are yours alone. They are not a leash that others can tug. This independence is magnetic. People sense it subconsciously, and it unnerves those who once assumed they had power over you. By remaining emotionally unattached, you invert the dynamic. Those who undervalued you now find themselves chasing the calm, composed presence that does not bend for them. They realize they missed something they cannot replicate. Attitude 2. Unwavering self-respect. Self-respect is non-negotiable. Many allow disrespect in small doses, thinking it harmless. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Seneca reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom starts with refusing to diminish your standards for anyone. When you hold a high standard for how others treat you, you are signaling an inner authority that cannot be bypassed. You no longer tolerate subtle slights, manipulations, or negligence. People feel the weight of this boundary. Those who once overlooked you notice the shift. This is a form of silent power. You do not raise your voice, you raise your standard. You do not demand respect, you live it. And in living it consistently, those who undervalued you are confronted with their own failures to recognize your worth. Attitude 3. Focused growth. Grow relentlessly, silently. People who undervalue you are usually still stuck in their patterns. When you commit to constant self-improvement, you create a gap between who you were and who you are becoming. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Focused growth is invisible yet potent. Your life becomes a moving testament to capability and self-mastery. They notice your successes, your calm confidence, your achievements, but by then, it is no longer about seeking their recognition. Psychologically, growth shifts the power dynamic. The person who ignored you is now aware that they underestimated someone unstoppable, and because they never contributed to your journey, their realization is bitter. Attitude 4. Calm detachment. Detachment is not indifference, it is strength. Many try to manipulate others with attention, emotion, or neediness. The Stoic responds differently. Epictetus wrote, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." By practicing calm detachment, you signal that your inner world cannot be shaken by neglect, insults, or absence. You remove the emotional fuel that others once used to influence you. This forces a subtle reversal. The one who tried to hold power over your emotions now feels powerless. Calm detachment transforms rejection into neutrality, absence into presence. Those who undervalued you feel the tension. They cannot provoke, manipulate, or demand the reaction they once expected. Attitude 5. Unseen consistency. Consistency is more powerful than words. The overlooked are often ignored because others do not perceive their reliability or depth. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Consistency builds invisible authority. Your habits, your ethics, and your daily disciplines silently broadcast value without announcement. Those who failed to notice you are gradually forced to acknowledge your unwavering presence. It is not flash or noise, it is the persistent echo of reliability. The regret of others grows not because you demand recognition, but because you continue to embody a standard they once dismissed. Attitude 6. Strategic absence. Absence increases value. When someone once ignored you is suddenly met with your absence, it triggers recognition they never prompted before. Seneca wrote, "He is most powerful who has himself in his own power." Strategic absence is not playing games. It is the Stoic principle of self-control in action. You no longer overextend your presence or energy for people who fail to appreciate it. By withdrawing attention, you force others to confront the vacuum you leave behind. Psychologically, humans attach to what they lose. When you remain present without need or absent with dignity, those who undervalued you experience a subtle, unavoidable pull, a realization that the connection they dismissed was not trivial. Attitude 7. Mastery of silence. Speak less, mean more. The undervalued often seek explanations, apologies, or confrontations. The Stoic responds with measured words and deliberate silence. Marcus Aurelius stated, "Silence is a lesson learned from the gods." Mastery of silence conveys confidence, patience, and control. It communicates that your presence, actions, and demeanor carry more weight than empty words. Others may try to provoke responses or demand attention, but your calm restraint signals that they no longer dictate your energy. Psychologically, silence is disarming. Those who underestimated you are left filling the void with their own thoughts, often confronting the reality they ignored. They chase not out of manipulation but out of genuine recognition of the depth they once overlooked. Attitude 8. Unshakable integrity. Integrity is a shield and a beacon. Many compromise for approval, bending values to fit the expectations of others. The Stoic chooses a different path. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." When your actions consistently align with your principles, you project a presence that cannot be corrupted or overlooked. People who undervalued you sense it instinctively. They see that your life is guided by conviction, not convenience. This realization creates a silent tension. Their disregard is exposed as weakness or short-sightedness. Integrity also attracts the right attention. Those who return, previously indifferent, are drawn to the certainty, honor, and consistency you radiate. It's not manipulation, it is the natural consequence of unwavering character. Attitude 9. Silent excellence. Excellence speaks for itself. Nothing commands respect more than results, mastery, and quiet achievement. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." The prepared, disciplined person rarely needs to announce their capabilities. Silent excellence is about mastering your craft, excelling in every domain under your control, and letting outcomes do the talking. Those who once dismissed you suddenly notice the gap between their perception and reality. They see the life, achievements, and composure they failed to value. The psychology is simple. Humans respond to demonstrated competence. When you embody excellence without need for recognition, others instinctively seek proximity to that energy. Their previous neglect transforms into genuine regret and often desperate pursuit, not because you forced it, but because you became undeniable. When you integrate these 9 attitudes, emotional independence, self-respect, focused growth, calm detachment, unseen consistency, strategic absence, mastery of silence, unshakable integrity, and silent excellence, you step into a psychological and emotional sphere few can penetrate. The Stoic approach is not about retaliation or proving anyone wrong. It is about becoming untouchable in your mind, powerful in your presence, and consistent in your values. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. By embodying these attitudes, you reclaim the energy others once wasted, redirecting it into your own growth and serenity. Those who undervalued you are no longer in control. You are. Their regret is the byproduct of your self-mastery, not your pursuit. You have created an aura of dignity, calm, and power that silently commands recognition. This is the art of presence, a quiet force that shifts dynamics without a word, without pleading, and without compromise. If this video resonated, comment which attitude you will embrace first. Subscribe to Anonymous Achiever for more insights into Stoic mastery and masculine psychology. And remember, true power is silent, unwavering, and impossible to ignore.